Hello and welcome to this short demo of dbCoder, a new database development tool now available for MongoDB. So let's get started by connecting to a MongoDB server and see what we can do. So connecting is pretty easy. We support all the major forms of MongoDB connection syntax. You can specify URI, you can specify SSL authentication and so forth. In this case, I've just got a little local sharded system I'm going to connect to. It has no authentication, so it's pretty easy to get going with that one. And now we're connected and we can see the structure of the sharded system. We can see its shards, we can see the members of the replica sets within each shard, config servers and so forth. And of course we can see the databases, the collections within databases, we can see the indexes for collections, and we can see our users. So in this particular case, we have just a small test database, but all the options here are relevant to any sized MongoDB server. So we can look at shard statistics. We can see, for instance, database storage, how storage breaks down by database, how storage breaks down within the database by collection, and so forth. And the other thing we've got is a bunch of commands that help you do common administrative tasks. So you can see here for collections we can create indexes, drop indexes, rename the collection, compact it, shard it, what have you. So let's have a look at some of that. Let's create an index. That's a pretty common thing to want to do, really. So I'm going to create an index on this customer's collection. Pretty straightforward. I'm just filling in the blanks here as you'd expect. So I can call the index a name. Obviously that's optional. And I pick my attributes that I want to index on. Last name probably is pretty useful. Ascending, first name, ascending. And as you can see, we've got all the different options for indexing here, though most of the time you'll just specify the attributes because that's the most common set of collections. And there you have it, the index has been created. So what else can we do with collections? Well, we can generate simple queries without coding if we want. So here I'm going to go with this Enron email messages collection. I'm going to do a simple query in which we specify that we're looking for emails that were in file 1046 or were from the notorious Eric Bass. And you may have seen this collection if you ever did the MongoDB training. They use this in the training course. Okay, and we can do other things. We can specify projections and sort keys and so forth. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to execute that right away. And there we go. We can see that we've got our collection, our output, and our query. And now we can edit this query. As you can see, every time we do anything on the left, it adds conditions to the right. So if we wanted to add sort conditions, we could do that. But for now, let's get an execution plan from it. That's something that we'd want to know. Was this an efficient query? And it looks like it wasn't bad. It was using a merge of two indexes and then a merge across shards. We can format the query. We have the ability to do autocomplete here, so if you want to sort of start to write a more complex script, we could help you with the commands that were available to you, and you can save this for use later on or do whatever you want with it. So the last thing I want to show you was the integrated command line. As we're working with our scripts, we often want to sort of run one simple commands just to, I don't know, look at the databases, maybe sort of check the structure of things and so forth. So there's always this little command line here where you can type whatever you might want to type. Just the same sort of thing as you'd have if you had a simple MongoDB command line at your fingers all the time, and I think you'll find that pretty useful as well. So that's a brief summary to dbCoder. I hope you download it and give it a try at dbcoder.com. That's dbCoder with a K. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.